When they slap you with a large amount of money in your face, your feelings do change.
Yeah.
So if Rahm and Hatton do actually lose, they will need to pay the outstanding fines to the tour that they've incurred for playing on LIV. And as it stood so far, there's been no indication that those players would be willing to do that.
It doesn't replicate the Ryder Cup. I don't think so. But it gives you another aspect of playing the game of golf, which is cool that LIV created that.
Martin Kaymer won 2 major championships, reached world number 1, and holed the winning putt at the Miracle at Medina in 2012. But when he joined LIV Golf in June 2022 as one of its original 48 players, his entire career was suddenly treated like a footnote.
Yeah, I did play really well, I would say. I stayed out of trouble most of the day. And I know the golf course very well. I've been coming here with the European Tour for many, many years. I practice here in the winter time. So it's a golf course that I really enjoy and I could play really any day.
Jon Rahm arrived 18 months later for a reported $600 million. He kept his sponsors, maintained his European Tour status, and was treated like royalty. The contrast between LIV's original believers and its later trophy signings created a 2-tier system that makes the PGA Tour's problems look almost democratic.
23 worldwide victories, 2-time major champion, PGA, the US Open, Ryder Cups. That putt was a dagger as an American. It was a dagger in the heart, that comeback, but incredible, the energy that you guys had.
Kaymer's Golf Digest interview in December 2024 exposed how deep the resentment runs among LIV's original players. He described learning who his real friends were after joining, facing open hostility from DP World Tour players, and being aggressively confronted by a board member at the BMW International in Germany.
Two-faced, hypocritical, dishonest. 3 words that describe not Martin Kaymer, but a player Kaymer said was aggressive to him when he returned to play his home event on the DP World Tour after joining LIV in 2022.
Kaymer didn't name names, but his experience represents every original player who took massive career risks based on promises that faded once bigger names became available. The numbers tell a story players aren't allowed to discuss publicly because of strict non-disparagement clauses.
Entitled to your own opinion, and it's not my place to judge what you think and where you're coming from.
According to reports from Golf Digest, ESPN, and Sports Illustrated, original LIV players who signed in June 2022 received contracts ranging from $20 million to $200 million.
Tell us how big the LIV contract was.
It was good.
8 figures, 9 figures.
It was 9.
That's like $100 million or more.
Yep. It was pretty.
Phil Mickelson received the largest deal at $200 million. Dustin Johnson reportedly earned between $125 and $150 million. Brooks Koepka signed for around $130 million. Players like Kaymer, Ian Poulter, and Lee Westwood earned significantly less, though exact figures remain unconfirmed.
Does your deal with LIV expire, and have you thought it beyond what your professional life would be after your LIV career?
Yeah, I think next year is when it ends. We're looking to negotiate end of this year, and I'm very excited. They see the value in me. I see the value in what they can provide.
Rahm's December 2023 deal, reported by the Wall Street Journal, at between $450 and $600 million, dwarfed nearly every original contract combined, excluding Mickelson and Johnson. Unlike the first wave, Rahm waited until LIV had survived legal battles, stabilized its calendar, and proven it wasn't going away.
Some people don't know that the only reason Rahm and Hatton could play at Bethpage in the first place was because of a loophole that allowed them to appeal the fines that the DP World Tour had given them for playing in different LIV Golf events.
He signed after the PGA Tour and Saudi PIF announced their framework agreement in June 2023, effectively removing the risk that had crushed the original players. That punishment came fast and hard. On June 9th, 2022, PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan suspended all 17 players competing in LIV's inaugural event at Centurion Club before they had even finished their first round.
What happened was the PGA Tour announced earlier today that they will be suspending the 17 members who are now competing from the PGA Tour in this inaugural LIV Golf tournament today just outside of London in the UK. Now,
the suspensions were indefinite. Original LIV players were cut off from the FedEx Cup, the President's Cup, and all PGA Tour affiliated events. ESPN, Golf Channel, and CBS Sports confirmed what it meant in real terms. Careers ended overnight. European Tour suspensions followed immediately. Players like Kaymer, Poulter, Westwood, and Sergio Garcia were banned from the tour where they had built their legacies. The Ryder Cup, the pinnacle of European golf, became permanently off-limits. Garcia, Europe's all-time leading points scorer, with 28.5 points across 9 Ryder Cups, will never captain or play in the event again under DP World Tour regulations. Sponsors fled just as quickly. Phil Mickelson lost Workday, KPMG, Amstel, and Callaway, costing him tens of millions annually. Forbes reported that Dustin Johnson lost RBC, despite being their flagship athlete. Equipment deals, apparel contracts, and corporate partnerships vanished across the board. When Rahm made his move, none of that happened. Callaway publicly confirmed it would continue supporting him, as reported by Golf Digest and Sports Illustrated. His other sponsors stayed.
You're never going to have an investor like our investor who has been so passionate about the game of golf.
Rahm negotiated protections original players never had. His LIV contract included exemptions allowing him to miss events for personal reasons while remaining fully paid. According to leaked details reported by Sports Business Journal, the European Tour created special accommodations for Rahm that didn't exist for the first wave of defectors. By paying fines and meeting minimum tournament requirements, he maintained his DP World Tour membership, as reported by The Telegraph and Golf Monthly. He even played in the 2023 Ryder Cup in Rome, just 3 months after announcing his move to LIV. Original players who requested similar treatment were told their memberships were permanently terminated. Tyrrell Hatton followed Rahm's blueprint when he joined LIV in January 2024. He retained his European Tour status through the same fine system, kept his sponsors, and preserved his Ryder Cup eligibility. Meanwhile, Poulter and Westwood, who helped mentor Hatton early in his career, remain banned from all European Tour properties and events. Team ownership reveals another layer of disparity. Multiple reports indicate Rahm holds equity in Legion 13, his LIV team. If the league succeeds long-term, that stake could be worth hundreds of millions beyond his guaranteed contract. Original players signed as employees, no ownership, no franchise rights, no upside beyond their deals. LIV's marketing strategy reflects that shift. Industry analysts tracking social media output reported Rahm-related content appearing at roughly 3 times the rate of original LIV players.
You were saying a $400 million contract, your life wouldn't really materially change.
I try not to be a materialistic person, but I do owe it to my family as well to set them up for success as best I can.
Billboard campaigns in major markets feature Rahm and recent signees front and center, while original players fade into background shots. The league that promised equality now operates like any other sports business. The biggest contracts get the biggest push. Performance bonuses in newer deals eclipse anything the original players can earn. Reports indicate Rahm can make up to $50 million annually in bonuses on top of his guarantee, through acceleration clauses tied to finishes and team results. Original players' bonuses cap out at a fraction of that, with most earning only their base guarantees, spread across contract years. Even the schedule bent to accommodate Rahm. LIV added a Spanish event in Andalusia after he signed, giving him a home tournament, drawing roughly 15,000 fans per day, the league's strongest attendance outside Adelaide. According to LIV Communications, original players competed at Pumpkin Ridge in Oregon, where protesters outnumbered spectators, laying the groundwork for Rahm's hero's welcome. Contract renewals tell the final chapter. Golfweek's Eamon Lynch reported in May 2025 that LIV informed players massive upfront payments would not be repeated when current deals expire. Johnson, Koepka, and DeChambeau face contract expirations between 2025 and 2026 with no comparable offers coming.
How much I've been fined?
Yeah.
I think you'd actually be shocked.
100,000.
Mate, you are not even close.
The money well is drying up for everyone except Rahm, who locked in generational wealth with perfect timing. Greg Norman recruited the original 48 with promises of revolution and equal treatment. They believed him. Joining LIV in 2022 wasn't just a career move, it was professional suicide. Norman exited in January 2025, replaced by Scott O'Neill. After securing Rahm and completing his mission, the architect of the revolution won't be around for the aftermath. The irony cuts deepest for players like Kaymer, who made LIV possible. They absorbed the criticism, lost sponsors, accepted bans, and played through empty galleries to prove the league could survive. Their sacrifice created the stability that convinced Rahm to join. Without the original 48 taking arrows in 2022, there is no $600 million deal in 2023. MyGolfSpy reported in December 2025 that Brooks Koepka may not even finish his final contract year, willing to forfeit $20 million just to escape. Fred Couples told ESPN that Koepka desperately wants back on the PGA Tour. These aren't fringe players, they're major champions sold a vision that only materialized for those who arrived later. At the Hong Kong Open in October 2025, 31 LIV players scrambled to qualify through Asian Tour events because they had no other path to world ranking points.
They changed the rule that if you can't see it with the naked eye, it didn't happen.
Rahm doesn't need backdoor qualifiers. His contract guaranteed major exemptions and special considerations original players later learned didn't exist for them. Cameron Smith illustrates the timing penalty perfectly. He won the 2022 Open Championship in July, joined LIV in August for $100 million as world number 2, and received roughly 1/6 of Rahm's deal with a nearly identical resume. The only difference was timing joining when LIV was toxic instead of established. Financially, LIV Golf spent an estimated $2 billion recruiting and paying original players who delivered minimal return. Rahm alone cost around $600 million, but he brought credibility, viewership, and legitimacy that 48 original players combined could not. It's smart business and brutal betrayal wrapped in Saudi billions.